Hi, and welcome to Getting Cozy and Comfortable with Your Money. I'm your host, Linda, the Money Mentalist, and joining me today, I have the lovely Sharon Tomkins.
Hi.
Hi, good to see you. Now, as with everyone who I've asked to join me on these little chats, you and I have known each other now for, I don't know, 3 years, something like that, would it be? Yeah. And as a lot, we actually met through a networking group, which was really, really cool. And I have always been interested and fascinated in how you actually can bring together two kind of quite different disciplines in your business world. So just tell me a little bit about that so our listeners get an idea of what it is you do.
Oh, well, thank you. And hi, everyone. So, yeah, like Linda said, we've probably known each other for about 3 years, met through networking. And so my business is made up of two things. So on the one side, I'm a personal development coach, a professional coach who specializes in health and wellness. And on the other side of my business, and I do this more for fun, is I'm a personal trainer. And so I've kind of combined those two things together to create one business.
Yeah, which is really cool because I mean the two are really interlinked, aren't they? It's, you know, health and well-being and where you want to be in life. If you don't have a good self-esteem, then it does make it harder to get fit, for example, doesn't it? And vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really take that kind of evidence-based holistic approach. So we're really looking at those 5 areas, key areas for everybody.
Yeah.
And it can range from intellectual health, which obviously is, where there's quite a close synergy for you and I.
Mm-hmm.
It could be our emotional health or our physical well-being, obviously, is one that we're all familiar with. We all know that we should exercise and eat well, but but it all helps our well-being, actually.
Yeah, and that's really interesting because you've just hit the nail on the head when you've said we all know we should exercise and eat well. We all know we should manage our money. But between us, we cover off all of those spaces that everyone knows what they should be doing, but we don't. We don't do it. And I think certainly from my side of it and the money side of it, I mean, money is still a taboo subject. And I think that is a lot around why it's hard to have a conversation with money. And which is why I am so pleased that you've agreed to join me, because of course we are going to have a little conversation about money.
Okay, all my secrets may get revealed.
So little coach to coach here. When I start talking to new clients and things about money, one of the things I like to ask them is when we sort of start the conversation, what is your body? Where do you feel? Do you feel tense? Do you feel excited, loose? So when I said kind of we're going to have a conversation about money, what did your body do?
I think my body immediately went into a little bit of a guarded mode. It was
Yeah.
like, no, this is something that I'm really going to have to sit up straight and think about. So yeah, I don't think I think I get very serious when I hear the word money, which is quite different to how I am, I think.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, so just to lighten it a little bit before we get into the serious stuff, quick question: dogs or cats?
Oh, definitely dogs.
Oh, phew, that's good. I knew there was a reason we were friends. Favorite song?
Favorite song? Oh, this is interesting. I've got lots of songs that I actually love, but I think if I was to think of what song would I have as a theme song, if I was going to pick one, then I reckon I need something a little bit sassy, a little bit like Shania Twain, maybe Man, I Feel Like a Woman, or Don't Impress Me Much. I kind of like that sass, so I reckon something like that.
Oh, very, very good. Well, as you know, because we've talked about music before, I'm a huge Queen fan, and it really depends what mood I'm in as to which particular track. But one that I do use a lot again in relationship to money is Queen's "I Want It All and I Want It Now."
Perfect.
And I think that fits with society really well as well. Okay, all right, so now you're nice and relaxed. Here we go. Here's the first question about money. And it is one that I ask everybody. I ask all potential clients because what comes into your head, the first thing that you think about, is really important in defining what your relationship with money is. So here goes. So what does money mean to you?
I think I see money as a tool. So something that I can use to, I guess, ultimately to create the life that I want, but also to do everything really, to have fun with, or to even help people with. So yeah, I think I see it as a tool, as something maybe not to get too overly attached to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is
okay.
that it?
Now, I also know that your other half, like me, is an accountant. Um, does he have a kind of a similar, is he kind of that accounting analytical type view of money, or does he put more kind of a mindset sort of thought around it? What do you think his kind of thoughts on that are? I always like to get the blokey perspective.
Yeah, that's really great.
Yeah.
I think what's most frustrating for me, who doesn't see themselves as too much of an expert in the financial
Mhm.
or money arena, is that his best guess at what a financial position is better than my sort of 10 hours of looking through all the budgets and things, which kind of I find really annoying, because it's just like, how do you do that and be like only like $10 out? It's like, what is this? So yeah, I guess I guess I'm not really sure about whether he's got a different mindset. I think I just hold him on a pedestal of cleverness,
Oh, that's nice.
which probably isn't actually very true. I probably can hold my own there, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So when we think about money and meaning, and this is typically again for women, quite often it does mean it means security, and the decisions that we make around money quite often have that kind of flowing in the background. So you see it as a tool, or in a meaning of a tool. Is there, kind of security or any of those other words sort of that you think that run alongside of that, more dominant, that you use it when you're using it as a tool?
Yeah, I think you are right. I mean, I think I'm quite cautious, and I think that cautiousness comes exactly like you say. Historically, growing up, there wasn't a lot of money around, and I, don't come from a background where people were particularly prosperous. So
Right.
it was always really hard worked for, and therefore, it was really every penny, every cent was accounted for. And
Right.
to some degree, I think I still do that. So I'm
Mm.
a little bit, I don't want to use the word suspicious, because it's not suspicion. It's just more, yeah, there's just that kind of aftermath, I guess, of growing up in that kind of environment that makes you kind of really respectful of every cent and every dollar that you comes into your hand, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's really interesting, because again, you've touched on that area which also influences a huge amount in that whole thing about what money means, is our environment and where we came from. And I think, sort of, so my grandparents lived through the Depression. So they, what money meant to them was very much that frugal, there's not a lot of it around and we have to be super duper careful with it. And I think we sort of see that coming through, but then probably our children who have grown up in a lot more prosperous, they would probably have a very different view and a very different kind of, what does money mean to me, attachment, because they haven't had that. So kind of, do you see that sort of generational difference between what you think it means to you and how your children perceive it?
Oh, for certain, and I don't blame them for that. In fact, I think it's really liberating, and can open up possibilities if you are able to, not think that this thing is so very scarce, that actually, the scarcity and that almost, I wouldn't go as far to say a poverty mindset, but having that super caution around money, I think does have limitations. And so when I look at my children, well, I think it's awesome to be grateful for stuff. I also feel that, that there's a generosity that can come as well from not holding things so tight. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're right. I think there's a difference.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, I mean, for me, that was really why I wanted to do this series, because I think there is a lot of negative messaging around money. You're supposed to be frugal if you want to save a house, and yeah, I find it for me very frustrating, which is why it's so cool to hear you know talking the way that you do. It's exciting because I think there's a lot of us out there who feel clear that it is a tool and it's there to be used and to have fun with and to secure our future. But our message isn't necessarily being heard as clearly as some of the other messages.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I love about your approach is that, I think we said before, the numbers tell a story, and what is that? And I love that way that you're so inquisitive and curious and just looking for fun in the numbers, which to me is like, oh, this is great, because obviously fun is a huge value of mine.
Yes, it is. So speaking of fun, let's move on to our next little question, because I mean we kind of know, okay, so money has a meaning, and we've kind of established that we all have a relationship with money, and ideally we would like it to be a good relationship because it is the longest one we're ever going to have. So this kind of leads to the relationship question. If you were dating money, what would money say to you? Would it want a second date?
Yeah, would I even agree to date it? This is the question. I actually think it might say something like, you always think I'm going to run out on you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I think there's that little piece of me that potentially doesn't want to give myself fully to it. It's like when you date someone, it's like, yeah, but what if you really hurt me? And I feel that maybe with money, that I do still have this little piece of I guess we'd say distrust in a relationship, but I'd like to think I didn't distrust money, but maybe I do.
That's the most interesting answer I've had so far. I did have one potential client, and it was a he, I will tell you that, who, when I asked him that question, he said, oh, good grief, it would just dump me. Okay, so I guess from that, do you feel it's a relationship that you would, money would say that you're nurturing it to get through that? Do I really trust you? Are you always going to be there with me?
Yeah, and I wonder whether it's going back to what you hit on before with a little bit of security, whether it's, can I trust in the abundance of this? Can I trust that it will be there to provide for me, and it's not just going to run off with someone else?
Leave me in the lurch.
Dark secrets are coming out now, hey?
That's good. Yeah, but I think this is how we need to think about money. We are in relationship with money, and if you don't look after it and don't respect it, why should it be there for you and be abundant and be there when you need it if we don't look after it? And I guess when I'm saying looking after it, I mean as in how we choose to spend it, nurture it, and all of those sorts of things. My mentor actually said, he said it's the longest relationship we will ever have, because before we were born, our parents were thinking about it in relation to us. And at our funeral, there will be someone standing by the coffin going, I wonder how much I'm going to get.
I just love that. I love that idea. And I think just even as you're talking, and I'm thinking, yeah, I really get that. I really get that idea of, it's one thing to say, I'm worried that you might run out on me one day, but it's something else to go, well, I'll give it a shot anyway, and I'll start to, I'll start to think about you and love you, and, see you as not just the boring tool in the shed, but, actually this is a really, it's more like a magic wand. Let's pull it out.
Oh, cool. Excellent. That was a really good answer. I love that answer. That was fantastic. I have to remember that one. Okay. And lastly, if you could turn back the clock, is there a situation where you can think of about money, and you can either be in your business or in your personal life, where you kind of go, oh, I would have done that differently, and you feel you've learned a really good lesson from it?
Yeah, and I think this is a little bit related too. I used to be absolutely petrified of setting a budget, just because then I felt I'd got to hit it.
Oh, right. Okay.
And of course, you know, this is the PT, isn't it? You know, you
Yeah.
set yourself a goal, and well, okay, you've got to go for a personal best. And it took me a really long time to understand that, you know, you're just giving yourself almost a framework so you're just not got no structure.
Mm.
So yeah, I think that's been a massive learning curve. That
Right.
idea of, you know, yeah, it's okay. Just put a number down. You'll learn from it, and you can adjust it. It's not set forever.
Right.
That was quite a tricky one.
Okay.
I think I'm still learning it to a degree.
Yeah. It is interesting, isn't it? You know, when we think about a budget being a target, and it's like, I've got to hit it every month, so therefore I'm going to spend every penny every month because that's what it says I'm allowed to do. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I guess we see that, and I get and again, another synergy, isn't it, between us when it's like, I'm going to count every calorie, and
Yes.
oh my gosh, you know, I've done an extra 5,000 steps today, so I deserve this.
Yes.
I think it's that similar kind of mindset. And interestingly, you know, while I can see that quite clearly, maybe in something like wellness, it's a little bit more tricky for me to see it in that area of money, or, you know, or finance in general.
Yeah.
You know, that's where someone like yourself really, you know, comes into the fore, isn't it? And why we need each other.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because, you know, I often talk about money as being part of our self-care. And in the same way we get our hair done and we eat well and we exercise well, we hope, you know, money should be part of that. And for a lot of people, it's actually not. But what I do find is once someone gets it, they get it in a big way, and it's life-changing. And it would be exactly the same for you, isn't it? Once somebody really gets that health and well-being, the physical and the mental side of it, you kind of go, wow, where have they gone, as they kind of shoot for the stars. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. All right, now, little quick fire question here. If you had $1,000 right now, what would you spend it on?
That's tricky. Okay, I've got two things I would really love right now. I'm not sure if the first one, that the $1,000 might cover it though, but we'll you know.
Okay.
I'd really love a new bike.
Aha.
Yeah, that I would love.
Yes.
With different gearing and these things are very geeky, bikey things, but I would love that.
Yes.
But if it wasn't a new bike, the other thing that I absolutely love dresses. I just think they're, like, so practical. It's just like, hello, one piece of clothing does the job for everything. You always kind of look put together. So yeah, that would be another one for me.
Okay, lovely. And what's been your most frivolous purchase?
Yeah, you see, this is where it comes back to money being a tool. So I reckon I'm generally not very frivolous.
Okay.
But
here we go.
If I'm with friends, they can be a great influence, right? So, you know, your friends can kind of chill you out a bit, right? So a couple of years ago, I was down, I'd gone to WOW in Wellington, you know, World of Wearable Arts. And of course, what else can you do in Wellington but look in the shops, and you're with your girlfriends. And we were in whatever the department store is, it's changed its name now, but we were in there, and there's this beautiful pale pink Ted Baker handbag, which is like wildly like overpriced, really. And of course my friend's like, oh, pick it up, Sharon, it looks just like you. I'm like, oh, you mean it looks just like me? What, pink and frothy? Okay, I'll take it. So anyway, I did. Obviously it's all like, you know, it's got its tag on and it's all security and stuff. And I'm like, they're like, no, you should get that. That is so you. And I was like, no, I couldn't possibly justify. You know, I've got 1,000 handbags, but I did. I purchased it. And it has given me, like, I use it loads. And it's been practical, it's the perfect size, and so yeah, it was frivolous, but it's given
you a lot of joy by the sound of
it. A sense of something every time I use it. And it hasn't run out on me.
It's still hanging in the wardrobe. Oh, that's so cool. So I love the work that you do. I think it's absolutely amazing, and the way that you combine two skill sets together is even more so. So how I'm sure others listening are also thinking, I need to talk to Sharon right now. So what is the easiest way for someone to find you?
Obviously, they can find me on all the social media usual platforms, or on my website. There's a contact me thing there, or you can sign up for. Got to sign up for the newsletter if you just want to kind of get a feel for things. So yeah, any of those methods at all, or I guess after this, just even a comment.
Yeah, I will be posting all the links and everything below for all of your tags so that people can absolutely find you. Look, I have loved our conversation. It has been so much fun, as I knew it would be, and very enlightening as well. Please make sure at our next network meeting you bring the pink handbag, because I don't know that I've actually seen it. So there you go, another instalment of Getting Cozy and Comfortable with Your Money, and we'll be back with another one real soon. Bye for now.